Featherweight bout here. Pat Sabatini coming in at -165 against Lucas Almeida, coming in at +165. Over under 2.5 rounds, +125 for the over, -125 for the under. Lucas Almeida, 4-1 in his last 5, 14-1 in his pro career. Pat Sabatini, 4-1 in his last 5 as well. And his last fight out, he got kicked in the face by Damon Jackson, I believe, or a knee in the face. It was some kind of flying object at his face, and kind of a letdown there for him because he was the favorite in that one, -200. And Damon Jackson, I believe, had like a pretty heavy heart going into that one, but he's coming in here as the favorite again against Lucas Almeida, who was in a really exciting fight against Mike Trezano in his debut, and he was the underdog there, came through with the 3rd round knockout. So I got to say, I mean, on the feet, I think Lucas Almeida is probably going to be looking pretty sharp against Pat Sabatini. The only thing is the takedowns. Can he stuff the takedowns against Pat Sabatini? And that's a tall task because he lands 3.75 per 15 minutes, and he's a little bit of he's a grinder. He's a grinder. When he gets you to the ground, he's got good submission skills. Submitted Jamal Emmers with that heel hook. But then I also look at who he's beaten in the UFC, and it doesn't look like that impressive when you look back at it. Like TJ Laramie by decision, Tucker Lutz by decision, Tristan Connolly by decision, and then Jamal Emmers by that heel hook, and then loses to Damon Jackson. So, I mean, 4 wins that are Jamal Emmers' submission looks pretty good now, but the other 3 are like, how much stock can you put in them? So what are you thinking on this one?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's obviously, grappler versus mainly striker, a guy with a lot of knockouts and power. If it stays on the feet, it's obviously Almeida's fight. If it goes to the ground, it's going to be dicey because Sabatini is really good and he's good with his control. I mean, but if you look at it, man, I know a lot of people rave about his submission game and his jiu-jitsu, but in the UFC, he's got 3 decision wins and 1 sub over Jamal Emmers. So he's not going out there and subbing all of his opponents in his wins by any means. And Lucas Almeida, I don't think he's a slouch on the ground. He hasn't really shown, I guess, the urgency to get the fights to the ground and look for submissions, but the guy's got 13 finishes out of his 14 wins, 9 by knockout, 4 by submission. So he at least knows what he's doing. If Sabatini wins, I think it's, obviously decision or submission. But if Almeida wins, I got a funny feeling it's going to be something crazy. Flying knee, knee as Pat Sabatini shoots in for a takedown, some kind of knockout. Because I like Almeida. I took him in his last fight against Trezano by KO, and I'll never forget it because I was, kind of ran off TikTok for picking him in that fight and picking him by KO, but he came through. I'm a fan of him. I like his style. He's one of those fighters that's going to fight till the very end. He's always looking to finish you, whether it is, a big knockout or some kind of submission. And those kind of guys are hard not to, take a chance on. Yeah. I'll probably play this fight a few different ways. For my pick, I don't know how I can get off the Lucas Almeida train. I don't know how. I mean, Sabatini coming off that loss to Damon Jackson, like, where's his head at? That was, pretty bad. He was a big favorite in that fight, if I remember right. Yeah. So yeah, man, give me Almeida. I'll take a chance on him here. Probably will sprinkle something on him by knockout. But I just like the kid. I'm going to stick with him.
Yeah, I think he probably, if you like Almeida, probably take him by knockout. Yeah, I think within 3 rounds, like, can he win a decision against Sabatini? Maybe, but how likely is it? Like, you're probably going to knock him out. And if you like Sabatini, I'd probably take him by decision because if he wins, he's probably getting those takedowns and racking up some ground control. But yeah, I think Almeida's a fun fighter. I mean, he's a pretty long dude. He took that 1 left hook from Trezano in the first round, damn near got knocked out, came back, knocked him down in round 2, and then knocked him out in round 3. So I hope we get to see him a little bit on the feet and Sabatini doesn't get him down like right away because I want to see what he can do against a guy like Pat Sabatini. But for the sake of the show, I'll ride Almeida with you. Why not? But like I said, probably look to juice it up a little bit. I mean, I know he's already the underdog, but I mean, how does he win a decision? Like maybe he's just good at stuffing the takedowns and can stay at distance and maybe fights safe. Doesn't want to overextend himself and fights that way. But I would assume he knocks him out.